back to you for Muthoot Finance. A quick call because Muthoot is surging as we speak. We, of course, put that story out with Rima earlier this morning, with Sapna, beg your pardon, earlier this morning. And, the conclusion was, and that time it was not up 7.5%. There was positive for gold finance companies. So what are the news? I mean, this is the Ministry of Finance, which seems to have examined the RBI draft directions on gold loans, and RBI is to ensure that requirements of small ticket borrowers are not adversely affected. So ticket sizes under 2 lakhs may be excluded from proposed directions. So this is a positive development, reduces the overhang on the space. Let's speak to the management of Muthoot Finance now, who is joining us. George Alexander Muthoot is managing director of the company to take some questions, to answer some questions. Mr. Muthoot, great to have you with us here, sir. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Prashant here. So this is unambiguously positive in that sense. How do you read this?
I think, first of all, the fact that there is a consultative approach by the RBI and the Ministry of Finance is certainly good. And the views, the fact that Justice Muthoot, the government is also considering or keeping the consumer first attitude. So that is the attitude which is definitely required, the consumer first. The earlier directions were not that good for small borrowers, especially, and also for NBFCs. I think we had also given our suggestions almost on the same lines to RBI and the ministry, and I'm sure they would have both thought about it, and they are thinking of maybe revisiting the regulations, draft regulations once more. That's definitely positive, because we have always felt that this is an industry which is serving the public, serving the consumers.
Mr. Muthoot, these are at the end of the day suggestions, right? These are suggestions. At the end of the day, the regulator will have to decide.
Yes. So at
right?
least.
So that is so that is one. These are I mean, they can only suggest, which is what this is. And second, which are the 1 or 2 top kind of things which, according to you, would have adversely impacted, as you said, the borrowers and of course then your business as well? Which the ministry is suggesting that gold borrowers who use gold as collateral be excluded from? Go on, sir.
Yeah, I think most of the suggestions earlier were based on the processes, controls, etc., which is fully welcome. But when the suggestions was about making it a little difficult for, or maybe a little more complicated for the borrowers, and especially the small borrowers, that is what actually really would have affected and finally would have led the customers to go back to the money lenders. I think that must be the biggest one. So I think now that people are thinking on that, as you said, the final decisions, final regulations has to come from RBI. But at least we have some, the ministry also supporting some of the views which we had given.
Mr. Muthoot, hi sir, good afternoon, Surabhi here. Just to dive a little deeper into exactly that point, the question that Prashant raised. Now, in that RBI consultation paper or the draft guidelines, some of the proposals that they were saying was to cap loan to value at 75%. In the earlier years, we've seen lenders go up to 80-90% as well. I think you've told us that you anyway try to keep it around that 75% mark in any case. Would you want to see some change around the LTV norm? Would it be something else? There was one more norm I remember, because this whole point of gold ownership, that the customer has to prove that the gold that they're coming to give as collateral, that they are legitimate owners of that gold. In many cases, it's, the family jewelry has been lying around for decades, and maybe it's tough to provide ownership. So was that another condition that perhaps the industry is also seeking could be diluted? What specifically would you want to see a little diluted in the draft guidelines?
So I think you're not exactly correct when you say about LTV. The loan to value is already fixed at 75%, both for the NBFCs and the banks. It is only the question was some of the banks were maybe treating it as agricultural loans and giving more than 75%. Otherwise, no NBFC can give more than 75%. Having said that, today the loan to value is only capped at 75% for NBFC. But having said that, at today's price, the average loan to value today in our books is only 58%. So people borrow only 58% because the price has gone so high. So
There's plenty of
75%.
headroom.
Yeah, definitely. But 75% is good. We wouldn't want to, definitely the RBI to increase that from 75 to higher level. As an NBFC, as a largest gold loan NBFC, we would also not want NBFC, RBI to increase the rate from 75 upwards. The second point is about the ownership of the gold. It is nobody carries a jeweler's bill with him when he comes to, or I don't know any one of us, neither you or me, has a bill for the gold which I'm wearing. So it is only probably getting an affidavit from the person that he has purchased it, that it owns to him should be sufficient. That's what I think, a common sense approach.
And the purity, sir, I mean, there was also some, just tell us if there is anything in the suggested, the RBI draft, on the purity of gold, on whether it's 22 carats, all gold needs to be treated as 22, etc. Customers might be bringing gold, which is 18 carat. So on that purity part, would you want anything to be be made less onerous from what the RBI is proposing?
Yeah, I think this is already there. This is something which is already there. Because we are supposed to take only 22 carat gold.
Yeah.
Just less than 22 carat, we have to actually convert it or maybe reduce the price to make it to
22 carat.
22 rate and then only give. That is already there. It's nothing new. It is already there. See, as I said, most of these regulations, pros, etc., are already there. It is just once more reiterated and made into one single composite direction. That's all.
Okay. Sir, the Finance Ministry has also proposed exempting loans below 2 lakh for the small borrowers from this 75% LTV cap, right?
I don't think that is there. I didn't read it that well. But anyway, even if they propose to exempt it, I think as a prudent NBFC, we wouldn't like to give more than 75%.
What percentage of your loans are given to sub 2 lakh 2 lakh rupees in terms of borrowing?
But I think more than 60% of our customers are below 2 lakhs. More than 70% of them are below 2 lakhs.
Okay, and the LTV for them is also below 75%.
I didn't hear you, please.
The LTV that you give out, the LTV for the small borrowers below the 2 lakh mark, for them also it's below 75% for you.
Yes, we have actually not distinguished anything below 2 lakhs or above 2 lakhs, etc. As of date, the regulation says we have to go only 75% maximum, and that is what we would like to continue.
So, sir, incrementally, I mean, from everything that you describe, in its present form, the RBI draft guidelines, which you're saying many of them have been in place already, in its present form also, you do not see it impacting business in any way, right? That would be a fair assessment?
No, I think the draft regulations had one or two issues about the LTV because the 75% there was some deductions, etc., to be made from 75%, which required some clarifications. That's which you had asked. I think now that we will have to do that clarification. So they were saying that not every loan can be given at 75%. Some loans have to be reduced from 75 to something lesser, etc.
Right, Mr. Muthoot, let me ask you the standard question in terms of guidance, since we have you on anything. Always say minimum 15%. That's still 15%? Or
I'm sure it will be better than that, but I don't want to commit on record about that. But please wait for our quarter results. We will do that. Anyway, the business is quite good. Business is growing. A lot of people are borrowing, even at whatever I said. Our average is only 58%. Still, people are borrowing because they need the money.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, I mean, it's turning out to be a good month so far. I mean, this month, right? It's turning out to be a good quarter.
Yes, I agree.
And sir, just rechecking the average LTV across your portfolio that you are maintaining as of now, and this varies with gold prices, but as of date, it would be around, you said, around 54%, is it?
58%.
58%. Today's gold price, 58% is the average LTV.
Yeah. If you take the weight of the gold and our total AUM, it is only 58%. Because everybody has not borrowed all the 75%.
And as gold prices, if they keep going higher, that number will
going up so far, so high.
it'll keep coming. I mean, the LTV will keep coming down. Thank you very much. Good speaking with you, sir, and appreciate. Sorry, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I think this is actually a very useful loan model, and
Yes.
people shouldn't make it very complicated. That's all. That's what we want to say. Don't make it very complicated. It's just somebody pledging his ornaments. If he wants to sell it, he would have got all the 100%. But he wants to take it back. That is why he's pledging and paying interest. So these people take it back, which is something which you should help them not to sell the gold, but to take a loan of it and to save the gold. That's what is happening today. So don't make it very complicated, and there is actually no risk also in this. It's something which we always try to shout from the top of the.
It's a business you've done for, I think, one of the oldest players, and done it successfully. And I think the ministry, of course, the government seems to agree with you. And that is the reason why they come out with these suggestions. Mr. Muthoot, thank you very much for your time, sir. Good speaking with you. It's always a pleasure here on CNBC TV 18. So that is the conversation with Muthoot, which, by the way, is one of the big gainers with tremendous amount of volumes, great gains. What a move, 7%, 8%. That's a 160 rupee move coming through. And, just look at what the open was. Open was 2,073. So, and for the first couple of minutes didn't do anything and then started moving higher. So it's been, it's come up gradually through the course of the day. Okay, what we'll do is we'll...